I'm Harrison Graham. Are the Bears set to let two key veteran free agents walk in NFL free agency? Plus, I take a look at some internal free agents that the Bears should look to re-sign either before free agency or once free agency gets underway. So busy show coming up here on Chicago Bears Now. Let's dive into it. The latest from ESPN. They did a full article kind of examining the franchise tag status for all 32 teams, which teams have franchise tag candidates, which don't. The Bears don't really have someone that fits the mold of a franchise tag candidate like they did last year with Jalen Johnson. But Courtney Cronin did kind of add a tidbit here about Keenan Allen and Tevin Jenkins. She said this, quote, Chicago's top two pending free agents, receiver Keenan Allen and guard Tevin Jenkins, wouldn't qualify for the tag for a number of reasons. Allen will be 33 this season, and Jenkins missed 23 games over 4 seasons because of injury. It's more likely that the Bears let both players walk and find their replacements in free agency or in the draft. And I agree with that. I think it's more likely than not that both are gone than even just one return. Now, is there a scenario where one or even both could be back? There is. Both is extremely unlikely. One, I would still put in the unlikely category, but not impossible. Certainly, especially when it comes to Keenan Allen, who we'll talk about first. Stay tuned for Tevin Jenkins. Got a pretty interesting kind of outlook on his 4 seasons in Chicago. Obviously, Keenan had a down year compared to the rest of his career in terms of production. Remember, he was battling that heel issue, I'd say, for the first half of the season. It felt like he got stronger as the season went on. Caleb Williams has certainly put his voice of support behind him. He said on the St. Brown Bros podcast that he's one of, if not the best player he's ever played with. Now, I don't know if he's just saying in terms of career accomplishments or literally while he was playing with them. It felt like Keenan has certainly lost a step, but still a productive player, especially for a number 3 receiver. I've just, and it's something we've talked about, I think there's a few angles for me in terms of why I would lean towards letting Keenan Allen walk. One, you did draft Rome Odunze in the top 10. He does need to be a 1,000-yard receiver moving forward. He had 700-plus yards as a rookie, but ideally he's more of a 1,000-yard guy. And then number 2, I want more speed behind DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. Like, I think you can go with the big 2 of DJ and Rome, go cheaper at that number 3 receiver spot, target speed, whether it's a Marquise Brown, a Tutu Atwell, someone in the draft like a Tez Johnson or something like that, Jalen Noel. I put out a video that you guys can check out, 6 receivers that Ben Johnson can target to find kind of his poor man's Jamison Williams. Like, I would like to find a guy, even if he's not a full route tree guy, that can take the top off of defense. That's just not Keenan Allen's game. I think Cole Kmet can give you a lot of that QB-friendly stuff that Keenan Allen provides just from the tight end position, and then you add speed at the receiver spot. Now, am I completely eliminating the idea of bringing it back Keenan? No, but I think you let him hit the open market, see what's out there for him. If he signs for a healthy contract, hey, appreciate the 1 year, helping our rookie quarterback come along. Best of luck to you. If the first wave comes and goes and that price tag gets below $10 million, okay, I could see a scenario where you bring him back, but he's not a priority. I'll put it that way. You're definitely not re-signing him, in my opinion, before the start of NFL free agency. What say you? Should the Bears re-sign Keenan Allen? If you think they should, type S for sign. If you think they should let him walk, type P for pass. I'm in the let him walk category unless that price tag comes down after the first wave of free agency, so I'm going to type my P for pass. All right, we go from Keenan Allen to Tevin Jenkins now as, what do they say, the best ability is availability. And we've talked about how Tevin Jenkins has missed a lot of time, but I really just wanted to do some deep research and kind of outline that he's actually missed more time than we think. Now, I understand his rookie year, he had that back surgery, wasn't available until the end of the season. Fair enough, but that's still missing time due to injury, right? Only played in 6 games that year, only played in 14.4% of the snaps. Okay, well, let's take that year out of it. 2022, okay, 13 out of 17 games. It's not bad. Well, look at the actual snaps, though. It's only 55.7%. He's leaving games early, not finishing games, etc. 2023, 12 games played, missed 5. Not too bad. Well, still less than 2/3 of the snaps. And then this year, this is the most misleading one, right? 14 of 17 games. Oh, he only missed 3 games. Well, he played less than 65% of the snaps. He left 5 games early and did not return. So he's not only missed 23 full games, look at the total snaps. 49.9% of possible offensive snap plays since he's entered the league, less than 50%. And take his rookie year out, last 3 years, still less than 62%. That's way too much missed time. I think the average Bears fan, if they guessed how much percentage of the snaps he's played the last 3 years, they would have said 70, 75. It's not even 62. I love Tevin. He's worked his ass off to try and get his body where it needs to be. But here's the reality. When you have back problems, it starts to trickle down to other things. Thigh, calf, all these things have popped up. It's not just one issue. Like, how many different injuries did he pop up on the injury report this year? I think it was 5 different issues. And to his credit, he tried to play in a lot of these games. He just couldn't finish these games. Just misses way too much time. Like, I don't think you can invest any real money, especially on a long-term basis, for Tevin Jenkins. Now, is there some small scenario where he hits free agency and just no team wants to pay him? I suppose, and maybe you get him back for like $6-7 million bucks, I guess. But even if you do that, you got to sign a good backup because he's going to miss time. And it only takes one team to throw him north of $10 million bucks, like the Patriots. Take a flyer, right? Like they have $120 million in cap or whatever it is. The Commanders, they have a lot of cap space. I expect him to sign elsewhere. I think the Bears have got to sign more reliable players. I wish Tevin well. It's nothing personal, but new coach, it just feels like it would be time to kind of go in a new direction. Okay, speaking of internal free agents, I'm going to take a look at 5 free agents that the Bears should re-sign that are not named Keenan Allen or Teven Jenkins. But first, got to tell you guys about today's sponsor. That is PrizePicks, the best daily fantasy sports app out there in North America. It's PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you sign up and play for just $5. It is a steal. Set your first lineup today. Get that $50 bonus once you play for just $5. The way it works is simple. You set lineups of 2 or more players. Pick more, pick less on tons of statistical categories. Right now, basketball is in full force: points, rebounds, assists, three-pointers, steals, blocks, combo stats, fantasy score. Pick more, pick less, and you are going to be living good. For you college fans out there, Cooper Flagg, 4.5 rebounds. I love the more on that play. Caleb Love, I took more on points and rebounds. He's been cooking recently as well. This is one example of a lineup, but millions of different combinations are available. You can cross over your sports as well, as long as it's 2 players on 2 or more different teams, up to 6 players, and certain lineups you can win up to 1,000 times your money on entries right now. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS, link and promo code are in the comments and description. Get that $50 bonus when you play for just $5 if you are a first-time customer. All right, now we transition to this. 5 free agents, internal free agents, that the Bears should look to re-sign in NFL free agency. Number 1 is Matt Pryor. I'm not saying Matt Pryor is a high-level starter. I'm not even saying he's a starter. But I do give him credit. When the Bears signed him last year, he was viewed as someone who would have to fight for a roster spot. He had bounced around the league as a guard, tackle, had been on some practice squads, had been on some 53-man rosters. And last year, Nate Davis just, for lack of a better phrase, just screws the Bears over. And Pryor steps in, and he at least gave an admirable effort, and I thought at least competent play, right? I think he showed he's a good backup. Is he a high-level starter? No, but is he serviceable? Like, if you lose a guard for a month, can he step in there and hold it down? Yeah, he also has the flexibility to play tackle, although I think at this point he's better as a guard because his foot speed isn't good enough to be a tackle, but he gives you versatility. Honestly, he's kind of just a better Larry Borom. Like, this is kind of what we were hoping Larry Borom would be, a guy who could play both guard and tackle spots and give you above or at least serviceable play. Borom never really met that mark. I thought last season Pryor did. I would like to bring him back on an affordable price tag to basically just be your top backup as in terms of being able to play guard or tackle. Jack Sanborn. I like Jack Sanborn. He's a restricted free agent, so the Bears can match if someone tries to sign him. I'm not really sure what happened this last year. He just didn't get as much PT behind Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards. But I still think there's a scenario where long-term he's one of your 2 primary starting linebackers. Now, it's not going to happen this season because I don't expect Tremaine Edmonds to get cut or traded, although some fans would like to see that happen. But he just has a knack for being around the football. He's not the most athletic guy. He's not going to test off the charts, which is why he went undrafted. But he just knows how to play. The question I have is, Does he chase a larger role somewhere? Is there a team out there that would say, hey, you'll be a primary starter for us? If so, I could see a team throwing, I don't know, $5-6 million per year for him. Whereas if I was the Bears, I'd like to keep him in that $3 to $4 million range on a 1 or 2 year deal. So the market will dictate a lot there, but I like what he brings to the table. He's good on special teams, so I would like to bring him back. Jacob Martin's another player I'd like to bring back. I thought he quietly, when he returned from injury, remember he had that foot injury in training camp, I thought he sneakily had stretches where he was like one of your best pass rushing edges. I thought he immediately surpassed Darrell Taylor, who had that big week 1 game and then kind of disappeared. He was better than Austin Booker. I think he's a better pure edge pass rusher than DeMarcus Walker, although Walker's a better all-around player. I think you're going to need depth on the edge. Jacob Martin shouldn't cost you that much money, and his pass rush win rate was pretty good. 13.5% as a rotation guy. Like, that's an above average number already. He was pretty solid in that regard. He had 17 pressures on limited snaps. Remember, he missed a lot of games with the injury early in the year, and then he was still just a rotation guy. So, like, if he's your 3rd, 4th edge rusher, I like that. Shouldn't have to break the bank for him. I would bring him back. And then we'll kind of bring these two together here. Josh Blackwell, Jalen Jones. 2 really good finds by Ryan Poles a few years ago as undrafted free agents. They have both been core special teamers, and when they've been asked to play defensive back, Blackwell is a nickel and Jalen Jones is an outside corner, they've at least held their own. They're not starting corners in this league, but they're excellent on special teams and they're decent backups, and they shouldn't cost a lot of money. Blackwell basically won you that game in Week 18 with that fake punt execution. So big fan of his. If I had to pick one of those, I'd pick Blackwell over Jalen Jones, but ideally both are back, and they are 2 of your core special teamers. Okay, name a free agent that the Bears should re-sign this offseason. You can include Teven Jenkins or Keenan Allen if you're in the camp of bringing one of those players back. Drop his name in the comment section below, or multiple names. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will continue to pump out the latest Bears content, the latest news, rumors, free agency, draft coverage, and a whole lot more. So don't miss out. All you got to do is subscribe.